last night, some of the guys were talking, undrafted guys were talking about, how they found out that they made the team and some of the messages that got relayed to them. Just for as difficult as that day can be with cutdowns, how special is it, when you can kind of be able to relay to some of these guys that, that dream has come true?
Yeah, it's always a bittersweet day because these guys have invested so much into it, and it's tough for a guy not to make the team. But then there's the flip side of that of some of these guys, like you mentioned. We have 3 undrafted guys make the squad. I think that's, it's a credit to them. It's a credit to the guys that our scouting department finding these guys, wanting them to be a part of our 90-man roster, and then them coming in with the right approach, right attitude, the work ethic, learning everything that they need to learn in a short period of time in order for them to accomplish that, and that's big time.
With Dave, I'm not asking for what your exact plan is, but did you find a sweet spot last year just because he's played so much and he played so well on limited practice ups? Is that kind of the way to go, or as he progresses, is it possible he could practice more? I guess I'm not asking for an exact plan, but kind of a generalization of what you're thinking.
I think it's going to be fluid. I think we've learned that by now.
Sure, but I guess him going once a week for most of his time last year, he played pretty well, right?
Yeah, he did a really nice job. So it'll be fluid.
Matt, you mentioned Daniel's big leg, obviously. What else about him stood out, or did you take note of the most in terms of just how he ended up winning that competition with Pat?
Well, the other thing that's required of him is he's our holder, and he did a really nice job with that, and I think he learned and grew, and he's still learning and he's still growing. So, but I think, just everything we asked him to do, I thought he did a really nice job with.
Hey Matt, this little 3-day break that the league has, I think they mandate this, right? You got to have X number.
Per the CBA.
What do you like that? And is it a chance, hey, we just went through this whole grind, and then we get a chance to, you guys and the players, to take a little bit of a breather before you got to get going?
I do like that.
How have you adjusted your preparation now that they don't have the 4th preseason game? This week, do you treat it any differently than obviously you did in the past in terms of getting forward on week 1?
Yeah, it's obviously it's a lot different. Because typically, like going back to that 4th preseason game, it was almost like you were getting 2 different teams ready to play. You're getting the guys that were going to play in the 4th preseason game, their looks, and then you're getting the guys that weren't going to play, a little head start on the opponent. So, yeah, I would say it's quite a bit different than it used to be.
With the new guys, how do you get them up to speed? Especially, they came and be in a facility for these 3 days, kind of.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, regardless of that, I guess how do you get? They're obviously months behind everybody. How do you get them up to speed so they can potentially contribute in some way here?
It's going to be a lot of studying on your own. So, they got the playbook, they've got videos. They're going to have to work their tail off over the next couple days and play catch up, because it could be a situation where they could both be up. You never know. It's just going to be, it's really on them to, we're going to obviously help and guide them along the way, but it's on them to try to learn this stuff as quickly as possible in order to be able to go in there and contribute.
So you're speaking for your coaches. I'm not sure how much time they have to set aside for a guy like Ben Sims when they have a game plan to get ready. Is there enough time in their day to?
We have enough coaches, yes. We will find guys to help, expedite that process. So I think that's one of the beauties of just, you look at the staffs in the league in this day and age, and you almost have a 2 deep at every position. So that kind of opens up some time for, and it's quite honestly, it's a great experience for some of our younger coaches, like a guy like in the tight end room, Rob Grosso, is spending time with Ben and trying to get him up to speed, and it's great for his own teaching development.
Yes, I'm sure if it were up to Keyshawn, he'd probably be offense, defense, special teams returner, etc. Do you have a feel?
Is there anything he can't do? He probably wants us to line him up at quarterback.
Probably. Do you have a feel yet for how to best utilize his snaps that he gets in a game, and can he still be, a primary kick returner and punt returner, and still be that first team All-Pro he was a season ago?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's done a great job. I think one thing that we all know about Key is he definitely doesn't lack confidence, which is I mean that in a great way. So we'll just kind of see how it goes, but certainly I don't have any reservations about anything we ask him to do.
I asked Brian the same question yesterday. Jordan played a lot in the preseason, obviously. What did you learn about him over the past month that just by the sheer volume of snaps that you've seen him play in this role that maybe you didn't know before?
A lot's a relative term. I don't know. How many snaps did he play? You guys probably know that.
He played regularly. He
Yeah.
played eight possessions. It was a decent sample size.
Yeah, I just think that kind of what we saw in practice is, translated to the game, and that's what you're always trying to find. And I wouldn't say there was anything new, so to speak. It was just more or less what we see on a daily basis.